Your performance at the Palladium was interrupted by Atticus Daly, a minotaur who was in his cups as well as in his chips. After a heart-to-heart in the Velvet Rose, you relieved him of his winnings, only to lose the money after getting bushwhacked by Molly's chief goon, Jemmy. Just before dawn, Yves gave you his take on the killer's latest victim. Yeah, I'm starting to remember now. We started doing our detective work. We examined a body because, you know, that's a job for me. Well, Target, thank you for the subscription. 5 months, wow. You've hung out with us for quite a while, too. What am I actually doing here? I gotta visit Molly or talk to Gray. I remember now. God, I had to fix that, right? That's odd. Nobody's in the shop, but the door was open. Better have a look around. Tipped over bottle. Something tipped over on the desk. Let's lean in a little bit. I'm hit with a wave of fumes. My stinging eyes water as I so intensely I can scarcely read the label. Co-rate formaldehyde. Some kind of formaldehyde. I don't know what the first word is. You want to find a remote job so bad? It's good. Honestly, I do better work in the office. But nobody wants to go back to the office, and I get it. There's a lot more freedom. You don't have people staring over your shoulder. There's a lot less anxiety other than the fact that, like, your boss, who's miles away, is never quite sure if you're working or not. And that fear seeps into his judgment of you. A shelf covered in tinctures, salves, and cure-alls sits recessed into the wall. Something odd about the shelving. It doesn't seem to be flush with the wall, not entirely anyway. Let's push on it. There does seem to be something odd about it. What would happen if I pushed? Zelda secret found sound effect goes here. The rack gives way with minimal exertion. Well, strike me blind. Isn't that curious? Oh, hey, he's down here. The dark passage opens into a well-lit dungeon. Standing not far from the table of gore, the local apothecary reads over some papers. There's a chunk of flesh on the floor that looks remarkably like a human heart. I shan't like to speculate, nor will I let my eyes linger on what I can only surmise is an operating table. The metal slab is stained with many layers of blood, as if multiple creatures let go of their life-giving essence upon its surface. Maybe he does taxidermy? Let's check out this cadaver. Oh, what? Oh, Miss Reed. Didn't no one ever tell you it was unkind to go barging into the back of someone's store unannounced? A steel scalpel rests on the table near his hand. Well, not that near his hand. That's the table. That's his hand. An apothecary and a surgeon both, it seems. Best not to worry about it until he gives me reason to. Perhaps so, though you must admit, this is a rather ad tableau to happen upon, Mr. Gray. Even through his complex array of lenses, I can see him raise his eyebrow. I am an apothecary, Miss Reed. I must know the effects of my sanatives on the human body. While I should not be surprised by the lack of education among the less advantaged of London, I thought you were at least aware that the human body contains organs. Point out that he was hiding. And exactly why are you skulking behind a hidden door if your business is so legitimate? Grim look passes over his face. Passerby, and particularly those of poor constitution, have no desire nor need to observe my work. Do most passerbys require hidden doors to deter them? For the sake of their wan constitutions? Wane constitutions? What a man does or does not do in his own place of business does not. His eyes flashed to a door on the back wall, then back to me. All right. My operation is somewhat less than legal, and I would rather not be stumbled upon by those with loose tongues and feeble minds, but I assure you, what I'm doing here is both completely normal and entirely ethical. I actually kind of believe him. This seems to be the truth, as he believes it to be, at any rate. Where'd these organs come from, Mr. Gray? As I said from before, from bodies. I believe with the proper response to such a willful dismissal is a sneer. Fine, fine. I have the organs delivered once a fortnight. I've a place to receive them not far from the shop. A dead drop. Have done for years. A dead drop? Blasted good story, whether true or not, though I'd wager Mr. Gray is not too skilled at lying. 10 of 2, I head down there, I take what's been left, and I deposit a payment in return. Beyond that, I have no interest in where they come from, nor have I ever. Who delivers the organs? Miss Reed, even if I knew, why would I tell you? You say this is entirely normal and ethical? I find that hard to believe, what with the skulking. Look, it is no secret that physicians have need of cadavers to practice their work, nor is it a secret that there are never enough volunteers. It has become rather a hot topic in these last few years. All manner of questionable practices have been dragged to the fore. I don't need a sermon on the sanctity of burials, nor the inviolability of the body, Miss Reed. Medical science must progress, and if I must pay a man to visit a graveyard to take from those who, well, never mind, in order to progress, then that is what I will do. And I'm certain that your own personal enrichment doesn't factor into that one whit. As I said, I need no sanctimonious lectures today. That's enough chit-chat. Have at you. He gives a deflated sigh, knowing that my interrogation is certainly not over. The graceful move is to flash him your gun? It's not the tactful move, I guess. What am I better at, grace or tact? Grace. Yeah, sure, let's just whip out the gun. That's always good in a situation like this. Perhaps I was unclear. I'll have no tomfoolery. This whole situation is mad. And what would you have to gain by shooting me? A dead man gives no answers, at least not outside of my profession. Not to mention that we are just beside a busy street and someone will most certainly hear. He is unfortunately right on both accounts. Regardless, my conscience is clean. I am doing a perfectly reasonable thing here, which would cast no more suspicion on me than it would any other physician should it become known. I see no reason to respond to your request nor your threats. Perhaps he has not made the connection between the recent happenings and the great deal of human remains upon his table. Inquires of the quantity of his specimens. I notice you seem to have no shortage of fresh research material. Is it common that you find yourself so flush with donations? Question gives him pause. Well, most of these have been held in formaldehyde for the better part of a month, but the deliveries lately have been particularly bountiful. What are you getting at? Remind him there's a killer on the loose. Do you not think the authorities, perhaps even the press, might be more interested in the procurement of a large quantity of fresh organs at a time when dollies are winding up slaughtered, organless, and splayed out in the London streets? He is genuinely flummoxed by the insinuation, especially since one with the victims was found with a vial of your medicine. No! I have nothing to do with that business. Why should I? Mr. Gray takes a deep breath and regains his composure. Fine. As I said, I don't know anything. I sell lots of medicine, Miss Reed. Nothing suspicious about that. Were it not for the suspicious trade in organs, he'd have a point. But if I were some sort of criminal, I might spend my time with dogs chasing my tail about on the edge of the Thames. That is all I have to say on the matter. Oh. Is he trying to shift the blame to the dockhounds? Not particularly subtle, though I suppose he is up to his elbows in blood. Mr. Gray, I believe I'll take my leave now. You've been most helpful, whether or not that was your genuine intent. Bah, close the door on your way out. Well, not weasel any more out of him. This is far from over, but now's the time to remove myself from this grotesque little vista. But a cadaver. Oh, I hope poor Ariana's body did not end up down here, though I fear it would be naive to assume it did not. Oh, canopic jars? Urns for the cremated. It's rather like London. Numerous unfortunate souls shuffled off and tucked away in tight spaces. Bagged body. You know, it's so bagged, I would assume he has yet to embalm this departed soul yet. Ooh, let's read the medical book. Not even a penny dreadful compares to this book, outlining the most grisly maladies known to the natural sciences. Mind if I take your instruments? There's still blood on it despite the sizable drain. How many bodies does he dissect? Yeah, all right. You've not seen the last of me, Gordon Gray. I actually genuinely believe that he's just buying organs, not knowing that they're coming from murder victims. That said, behind a good money-making scheme always seems to be Molly. It seems to be the narrative they want to spin at me. Alright, how's this for a theory? Somebody murders victims. I don't know why, I don't know how. But what if Molly's goons aren't actually the murderers? What if they just hop in, chop up, or steal parts of the organ and make it look like a werewolf did it? That's the kind of lack of subtlety Molly would have, you know? Oh, it's Iron Bear. Here's Iron Bear. And Tenner's still nowhere to be found. As always, he's doodling in the notebook he brings with him everywhere. A tumbler of whiskey sits before him on the bar, dewy with condensation but untouched. Glad to see you again, Iron Bear. May I ask what you're working on? Miss Reed, I see you're a woman of your word. I'm working on battle plans. Of course, I am an advanced scout for the Comanche people, and once I report back, I will conquer all of Europe. Had his dry wit not broken into a small chuckle, I might have believed he was serious. At least it would make a change from the current governance. It is now my turn to ask you what you are working on, seeing as it has provided me with an unanticipated day off. Ah, yes, I was eager not to have Iron Bear following me around London. But of course the man would want some explanation. Let's see. Now that I can tell him what's happening, and how is the bodyguarding business these days? No new holes in you, I trust? None that I can see any, right? On my most elegant misdirection, Iron Bear gives me a knowing look, though he allows the subject to change. Fortunately, no. There have been no attempts on Cunningham's life in London, nor mine. If I had come here expecting more excitement, I'd find myself remarkably disappointed. There's a pointed silence. I could leave now. I've met Iron Bear as promised, but I find myself in possession of a rare opportunity to get to know the man a little better. Well, since we're both here, I wonder if you might permit me a little curiosity. I have no particular objections. I've noticed you always walk behind Tenor like a valet. That's unusual for a bodyguard. A Comanche custom, perhaps? Cunningham knows to not walk beside or behind me. He's not a warrior, but a businessman. He has not earned that right. Huh. Not only does Tenor open his own doors, but you've set the terms of your employment? Seems he's accompanying you and not the other way around. Bear responds with a thin, measured grin that vanishes before I have time to blink. I'm certain Cunningham gives little thought to my people's customs. He has his pistol for the enemy that attacks from the front, and me for the fool who attacks from the behind. Can't attack your logic. I thought he would spend some of his time with you today. Not for lack of trying. Still, Iron Bear has more than earned a measure of honesty from me. Tenor and I are perhaps not as close as you suppose. As expected, he looks unsurprised by the revelation. He's hinted recently that he's eager for me to return with him to his mythical Republic of Texas, land of wonder and easy prosperity. In fact, what's your opinion of the place? Texas has its highs and lows like any other place. Between you and me, it would be much improved if there weren't so many Texans. But I would encourage you to reach your own conclusions on the matter. When I leave London, I intend to do so on my own merit, so I'm afraid Tenor might be in for a bit of a shock. Cunningham might be shocked, but only because he would not see it coming. Even if it becomes a home, one must not be afraid to leave a place when it is time to move on. We share a moment of unexpected rapport. It seems that every time I see you, you're drawing in that journal of yours. Mind if I take a peek? Please. Rather than hand me the notebook, he opens to a particular page. On the left-hand page is a collection of sketches. As near as I can figure, they're the disassembled components of some kind of machine. On the facing page is a list of names. The ones I recognize are either arsenal employees or black market weapons dealers. Most of them are crossed out. It appears you're running into a few brick walls here. Yeah, I have encountered unanticipated obstacles. It appears that even London's darkest underbelly is reluctant to deal with foreigners of a certain caste. Is there something I might be able to assist with? Perhaps so, given that Lord Braxton is one of your clients. Not only do they specialize in consumer devices, but Arsenal is the premier weapons manufacturer in England. My people have the numbers, the resources, and the will to defeat the Republic of Texas Rangers. We lack only the right weapons. That sounds like a lark. I'll help. If I'm in a position to help you, then I will. What exactly are you proposing? I have it from a reliable source that Lord Braxton has developed a prototype for a steam-powered repeating rifle. The real reason I've come to Europe is to arrange a shipment of rifles for the Comanche, but first I need the diagrams on this particular prototype. Do you have any idea where one might find these diagrams? Not yet, no. I came here to speak with Molly O'Malley, but she quickly gave me the brush off. Ha! She rebuffed you, you're better off for it. When you make a deal with a snake, you're bound to get bitten. Sorry for the English there. Awfully stuttery today, it seems. All the same, it was a risk I was willing to take, Miss Reed. As for the diagrams, I assure you that they're not on the airship Silas, Lord Braxton, never works while on board. He mostly stands at the helm while gazing out over London. So that is how the well-heeled choose to spend their time. Among other frivolous activities, yeah. Alright, then meet me back here later in the day. I have an appointment with an Arsenal employee who might help me locate the diagrams. It'll be helpful if you join our conversation. But don't make it obvious that I was invited. That's right, Miss Reed. Then I'll see you here later on. For now, I'll keep my ears open and see what I can dig up. Alright, Miss Reed, sounds like a plan. Alright, we're gonna overthrow Texas. Wasn't the original plan, but I'm in for it now. Hey, Jemmy. Miss Reed, glad to see you peeled yourself up off the cobbles. Offer him understanding. I know you're just doing your job. Money was stolen anyhow. Huh. That's an attempt to resonate with old Jemmy. It's a weak one. I don't make friends, at least not with your like. Yeah, Jemmy, damn. Bygones, man. The scruffily dressed ladsman eyes me once more. Ladsman, how's your little family doing? Don't fash yourself. Those kitties are safer than a chick in your pocket. It's true. Read about it. Or I heard about it from a gossip. Alright, I'm avoiding Molly here. I just want to have all the conversations. Paco's gruesome countenance lights up at my approach. Alright then, my love. I'm gone. It was nice to meet you, Paco, but I should be getting on. Hercules. Who's a good boy? Grr. Alright, I'm not getting close. By the saints, there's much to discuss with Miss Molly. Do I have the headspace for all this right now? Yeah, sure, I'm ready. Let's get this over with. Other matters can wait. There she is, Clara, dear. Thought you'd be around sooner, if I'm being honest. What took you so long? Grace. Oh, Mally, you mad cunt. Always a pleasure. Very sorry about that. Ugh, this video just got demonetized. I knew I could count on Clara Reed to be sensible. I always said you were a proper professional. I did. Molly is trouble. Even before all the morals and high-mindedness, by nature she can't be trusted. She's too clever by half and delights in finding new missteps to hold against a person. She worms her way into even the smallest cracks and grows there like a weed till it tears wide open. I would resent her more for it, were it not so damn impressive. Now what can I do for you? I'm sure you're not here for a social call. It's been some time since I partook of a social call with O'Malley, thank you very much. And I've no intention of picking the habit back up now. Kensington. What was Kensington? Kensington Square? Let's ask about the murders. Why not? You have your hand in 100 pots. Molly, surely you know something about the ongoing murders that the Bobbies don't. That's flattering, Clara, but I'm not omniscient. How should I know something? Even if the so exceptional law dogs of Scotland Yard don't know. On an unrelated note, did you see the papers written this morning? Quite a little number on the front page. Afraid I haven't had the time. That's so, Reed. Well, it's a hell of a story. Molly offers me a newspaper set conveniently upon her table. My salutation and regards. I've had such a good time with these dollies thus far, and the last one was quite full of piss and verve. It was great fun, but great fall fun all the same. I love what I do what I love, and my love will flip London on its head. The gabbers and bluecoats are up in arms about me, true, but the bobbies are tossers, and it hardly matters anyway. I'm a proper beast and shan't ever be caged. Things have been quite quiet of late, but nothing lasts forever. Hold this letter back till print, keep it from the bluecoats, hands till then, and I shan't come scratching at your door next. Humbly yours, the knuckle. Sir? Bloody ghastly, isn't it? It's gruesome indeed, and incredibly well timed. I know that look in your eye, Clara. Anger, the gears churning in your head. What's it Tenner's always calling you? His little spitfire? I'd have cut his plums off for that one, but to each your own. What about that paper then? What am I meant to see? You can see whatever you'd like in it, Reed. I'm just that it's a hell of a lead, eh? I'm sure you'll be wanting to have a chat with the paper that ran it. It's on my to-do list. And you're right. You're right, I should make a call to the London Journal today. Only sensible, if memory serves. It was penned by a Paul parrot by the name named Ivana Orsini. Ivana Orsini, we had a run-in recently. That's so. My boys tell me she's been poking about the bell jar today. Might want to take a look up there. Thank you, Molly. I'll be sure to follow up on it. What's a bit of help between old friends, eh? Oh, and Clara? Huh? Don't pinch my capital again, or we'll hack off your legs, tie you up, and toss you in the Thames. Now, I still wanted to ask her about, the bodies being or the organs and bodies being delivered to Mr. Gray.